it's really, really strange in some way. We had a story that was released this morning by the UK Independent saying exclusive and reporting that the United Kingdom, the Brits, have a Mideast internet surveillance base that essentially taps fiber optic cables that are underwater and can extract information from them. It intercepts and processes vast quantities of emails, telephone calls, and web traffic on behalf of Western intelligence agencies. Now, this is a situation where we're talking about surveillance on other countries, and people can take issue with that, but this isn't something that I perceive as whistleblowing. This is not. This is, I think we're quite clear that we spy on other countries and whatnot, and same probably goes for the Brits, and probably same goes for every other country. So this is one of those leaks that one could make a very strong argument is not about whistleblowing, but harms national security. According to the UK Independent, this it's not revealing the precise location of the station, but information on its activities was contained in the leaked documents obtained from the NSA by Edward Snowden. Okay, now the wording's really important here because it doesn't say they got it from there. The Guardian newspaper's reporting on these documents in recent months has sparked a dispute with the government, with the GCHQ, that's the Government Communications Headquarters security experts overseeing the destruction of hard drives containing data. Weird two things to sort of put together in one paragraph. The disclosure comes as the Metropolitan Police announced it was launching a terrorist investigation into material found on the computer of David Miranda. This is Glenn Greenwald's partner. They also go on to say that the Guardian agreed to the government's request not to publish any material contained in the Snowden documents that could damage national security. So this is a very strange, and as soon as I saw this, it was actually posted last night, our time, it struck me as weird. Glenn Greenwald has come out with a piece today saying that Edward Snowden released a statement. The statement says, I have never given information to the UK Independent. I have never spoken with or provided journalistic material to them. The journalists I've worked with at my request have been judicious and careful in ensuring that only the things that are what the public should know, but does not place any person in danger. It seems, and Glenn Greenwald seems to be charging, that the Independent was basically carrying water for the government, the British government, because the British government wanted to leak something and make it seem like it was a Snowden leak that in some way jeopardized national security. What do you make of this, Cliff?
Yeah. I make of this, we need to make a James Bond movie about everything going on in this case. I wish I had a more informed opinion of what to make of this. Obviously, Snowden is claiming he didn't leak anything to the Independent. The Independent's not claiming that it was leaked to them from Snowden. Now there's sort of, I guess, an update. I'm looking here, where they're claiming that they're denying that they were leaked anything or duped in any way to publishing something that would help by the government, to help the government. But obviously, something's going on here. Let's just say it's very suspicious.
And apparently,
I don't know what else.
Well, public opinion in Britain is apparently seems to, at least, sort of from an anecdotal. I haven't seen any polls, but apparently people are quite upset about Miranda's detention because it is a law that is presumably about protecting Britain from terrorism, and it's a real big stretch to say that in any way detaining this guy for as long as they did, that this was based on terrorism. I mean, what it appears to me on some level is that the NSA has no idea what Snowden has. And they are now there's all sorts of craziness going on to try and either hide that fact or to find out and smoke out what Snowden has.
Oh, I'm sorry, I lost you again in that last period. There's
well, I was saying that it's clear that they don't see the NSA doesn't seem to have any idea of what Snowden has.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. Which is, I guess, why we keep going through this entire this exercise. They don't seem to know at all. I mean, that sort of is an argument for why the British government stopped Glenn's partner to look through and try to get a better idea of what he had. And if I'm repeating anything you said, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Again, because it cut out on me. So I mean, yeah, they don't seem to be able to know there. I mean, I guess there's sort of in a number of instances, it sort of seems like they're doing what they can to sort of thrash around and figure out what exactly it is that this guy has, which I would think that they could ascertain from what he had access to. But you know, that's one thing that stopping David Glenn's partner in London tells me is that they were looking for these items. You know, I mean, there's other people that have obviously had other theories as to why they're doing it. I think somebody even tweeted out that they, you know, I'm trying to think, I think it was Ian Bremmer, who's sort of an internationally connected guy, that they were trying to build a case against Glenn and David with it, as in a criminal case. You know, I have no idea whether, you know, that's accurate or not. I'm just throwing that out there. But to me, it seems that there's a very good chance that what it is they're just trying to figure out what exactly do these guys have. You know, and I mean, right, Laura Poitras is putting together a film, and Glenn is continuing to sort of write his stories, and so, you know, they're expecting, you know, the drumbeat continues, and frankly, this, you know, whatever, this has been done in a smart way, because you do one big dump of documents, and people tend to miss a lot, whereas what these guys have done, obviously, is over a number of months, I guess, you know, maybe not a number of months now, I don't know how long, it's been 2 months or so, but they've been releasing a little at a time. Right, and I think
they're frankly they're looking. You know, I mean, they're still looking through this stuff. But if here's what's really, I think, you know, most problematic from my perspective, and that is if the NSA doesn't know what Edward Snowden took, what kind of control do they have on this information? I mean, I was making this point yesterday, but you know, they know Edward Snowden took stuff because Edward Snowden made it very public that he took stuff. But what if Edward Snowden had not made it public that he took stuff? What if he wanted to sell this information to the Brits or to the Russians or the Chinese? It doesn't appear that the NSA would have any clue as to that he had done that.
No, I know. I mean, that's disturbing as it is, which is just that also, as we know, you know, he's a contractor. He wasn't somebody who was within the government. He was a Booz Allen contractor. So, you know, what other guys that are defense contractors can get this kind of information? You won't know. To me, that's always been one of the biggest facts that makes this case so important, which is, you know, it's not just the information. I mean, the NSA, the arguments are always, well, you know, we've got good controls on the information. People wouldn't be able to just go out. You know, we don't use it. We won't take certain information without a warrant, particularly specifics of beyond the metadata and the rest. But, you know, if somebody like that can get access to it, and he hadn't been with Booz for very long, then the question is, you know, what about people that do intend to sell it to China and Russia and really a variety of other people?
Yeah, and it doesn't appear that...
That's kind of worrisome, isn't it?
Yeah, and it doesn't appear that the NSA has any ability to be aware of whether or not that's actually happened. Because if they can't track where he's been when they know that he's stolen stuff, how could they possibly track stuff that they don't know has been stolen? You know what I mean? I mean, this seems
of course.
really, really problematic. But let's also... I
think you've got a better home security system than they've got.
I do. I mean, at least, you know, like I take an inventory. But that's also
you'd know if something was going down.
You know, that's also the problem that's also the other aspect of this, that I just don't think that in many respects we as a society and that the national security establishment has not caught up to. That is that fundamentally, digital secrets are fundamentally different. You can talk all you want about how much you want to maintain secrecy, but when things are digital, it's a very different ball game. They wheeled in the Pentagon Papers into the New York Times in a couple of shopping carts. And now, you could not release that by accident. It would be very difficult to, it would be impossible to release it by accident. Like, oh, we just sent 75 pounds of papers to you by mistake. But now it's just a click of the mouse.
Yeah, no, obviously that's changed everything as it has for us. It's much harder to keep a hold. I'm just imagining what you're talking about, the printing up and sort of loading up of those documents with the Pentagon Papers, and just the situation and how different it is today. It's amazing, and obviously it's changed the way we do everything, but it's made some things easier, but it also has made all sorts of information. It's made it a lot easier for anybody from your hacker to corporations to others to steal information from any of us. That's kind of what we live with having the added convenience and productivity of the rest of the online world. And so obviously the NSA is dealing with the same thing, and have they caught up and developed protocols to protect themselves from this kind of thing? The Snowden thing makes you wonder, and why is it that I had to learn from the Huffington Post that Ben Affleck was going to be the next Batman? Shouldn't the NSA have had that first?
Well, that's indeed, but
I couldn't help myself. So
I know, I understand, but the other issue is that, of course, when you steal this information, all you're doing is copying it. You're not necessarily taking it,
right? And
that's why the NSA.
No, it's totally different. Yeah, totally
different situation, and it's the ease in which you copy these things. I don't know. I think it's fascinating. Just that brings up the idea of the British government smashing the hard drives of the Guardian. Big deal. You've basically just they got to spend another whatever it is $4,000 on a couple of new computers. It's a fascinating.
You probably have things saved in 14 different places.
Of course. And there doesn't seem to be a recognition of that. And
I'm going to break your floppy disk kind of thing. Isn't that scary?